Do you know that if you borrow an American law, you take it word for word and domesticate it, you might be accused of doing something undemocratic and being under the influence of those guys. On Friday, a US federal judge approved the retrenchment of over 2,000 USAID workers, potentially opening the door to the permanent shuttering of the embattled government institution. While some have pointed to USAID's extensive global involvement in funding journalism, civil society, and political activities, including funding over 6,000 supposedly independent journalists around the world, as evidence of political interference by US intelligence services in the affairs of some countries. Others continue to insist that USAID is primarily a humanitarian agency that concerns itself with disaster relief and trying to make the world a better place. According to this school of thought, the idea that foreign aid and development assistance from rich countries implies interference in the affairs of countries in the global south is just crazy talk. It's a conspiracy theory. So what is the truth of the matter? As in so many other cases, the best place to look is within the US government itself. The Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938 should give us a window into how the US government sees this issue. Under the FARA Act, any activities within the USA on behalf of a sovereign principal involving information services, political activities, financial disbursements, and lobbying or public relations must be declared to the government, and all monetary payments involved in these activities must be cleared by the US government, failing which one may incur a fine of up to $250,000 and a prison term of up to 6 months. In 1996, former Libyan President Muammar Gaddafi pledged a sum of $1 billion to the Nation of Islam, which is a prominent organization within the African American community in the US. In Gaddafi's eyes, he was pledging this sum to be used in the upliftment of a disadvantaged group in the US, which is what you would refer to as foreign aid or development assistance. The Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets and Control blocked the payments, and the US State Department simply said Gaddafi's tried to use this money to buy leverage within the US, and we're not going to let that happen, full stop. In other words, the US government clearly sees the potential for foreign aid as a tool for interference and potential destabilization. Now, interestingly, where other countries have attempted to copy this US FARA framework to assert their sovereignty and prevent interference of foreign powers, the US government, for whatever reason, has not been on board with this. In 2024, the ruling party in Georgia proposed a law which was, I quote, a word-for-word translation of the FARA Act for the purpose of curtailing the vast amount of foreign influence in Georgian politics. At the time, it was estimated that over 95% of Georgian civil society funding came from abroad. This was happening without any burden of disclosure and without any meaningful oversight by the government. An article by the Council of Foreign Relations says, and I quote, historically, NGOs have played a critical role in the revolutions that led to Georgia's post-Soviet democratization and westward shift. The law allows the government to basically break the power of civil society. And how did the US government respond to this? While this bill was working its way through the Georgian parliament, the US government and its mouthpieces repeatedly accused the Georgian government of being under the influence of you-know-who. And after this bill was passed, the US government then withheld $95 million worth of development assistance from the Georgian government, accusing them of having taken undemocratic actions under the influence of you-know-who. In other words, using the US government's own standards for what constitutes foreign interference, it turned out that the influx of foreign money via NGOs and foreign aid and development assistance into Georgia was, in fact, foreign interference. And even more importantly, while some believe that they should be free of foreign interference at home, they believe that they have a right to interfere in other people's countries. Foreign interference for thee, but not for me. Moral of the story, if you want to be accused of working under the influence of, then all you need to do is plagiarize an American law and do a word-for-word translation of it. Because why not?